Hello and welcome to this session in which I explain some advanced formats of the Insert and Update SQL statements. As you remember, the insert statement inserts new records to tables. And the typical syntax requires us to use the values keyword followed by the actual values that we are to enter into the records. Instead of hard-coded values, you can also use that to insert scalar results of nested SQL queries. Okay, so instead of, for example, assigning a value of 25 into some column of a table, you can assign the value of select count of star from employees where region equals 2. That will count the total number of employees in region 2 and will return a scalar result, and that will be the value that will be inserted. However, now I would like to introduce you another version of the insert statement in which instead of inserting values, we insert the result set of a select statement. So, as you can see in the syntax here, we start exactly the same, insert, ignore or not ignore, into table, the list of columns to which we are to enter the values. And now, instead of values, we start a select statement. And that select statement will generate a result set. That result set must match the list of columns that we've listed here if we have, and if not, the columns in that table to which we are inserting the values. Now you can add also the onDuplicate key update switch that will let the engine know what to replace as the value for the column in case that column runs into a duplicate key error. Here is an example of inserting some customers' records into a partners table. This is just to present you with how to use the insert statement. We don't have partners table in our schema, but you are of course more than invited to create one and try out this statement. In the partners table, we have two columns, partner name and country. By the way, the table may contain more than two columns. For instance, I can presume that it also has a partner code or partner ID column that has an auto-increment attribute. Therefore, we're not concerned of explicitly providing a value when we're inserting a record to that table. What are the partners that we are inserting to the partners table? They are our customers from region 1. So we are selecting the customer name as the first column that will map to the partner name, comma, we are selecting a fixed string USA that will be mapped to the country column of the partners table from our customers table where the region equals 1. Okay, so this is a good way when we want to copy data from one table to another or to calculate aggregates and enter them into a summarizing table, for example. Now I'd like to explain a little bit about the update join. As you remember, we use the update statement to update existing records in tables. With the update join, you can update more than one table simultaneously or join other tables in order to apply filters based on columns available in the joined table. How do we use the update statement? We start as usual, update table or tables, and then we do the join. We write the join as we're used to, either inner join or left join. Note that there is no right join here. the join can only be from left to right. So the first table in your update clause must be the table that is the leading table for the join, either left join or an inner join. And then you start setting new values to columns in either tables that you have selected in the update. Could be one table, two tables, three tables, whatever. And you could also reference values in other columns in these tables. You can use expressions when you calculate the values to be entered in into these tables. And you can also have a condition using a where clause that filters those rows that needs to receive the update. Think of that as just a usual update, but instead of addressing a single table, with the join, you basically create a foundation of joined tables where all of their columns are available for you to update, to reference their values, and or use as conditions to filter. Here is an example of how we use this in update. In this example, we're updating the partners table that you've created in the previous slide, I hope. And the goal here is that update the contact column of the partner table to be the name of the customer for all of our region 1 customers. So we need to join the customers to our partners table and just set the name of the customers table into the contact of the partners table. There is also another way to write this update statement, by the way, without explicitly specifying the join part. Here we are implicitly joining the two tables by way of selecting them both in the update clause with a comma. You see, we're updating the partners and the customers. We are setting whatever we want to set, and we actually hint as to the join in the where clause. You see that the where clause contains now not only the region equals 1 constraint, but also the joining between the two fields, the customer number from customers to the partner number from the partners table. This will generate in the MySQL engine an implicit join. So there still is going to be a join. However, we didn't write explicitly the join part in our statement. This is it for this short session that expanded even more what you already know about SQL databases. See you shortly in our next session, in which we understand transactions.